This is Mac OS Ken.
Selling the Apple Vision Pro Vision, Beijing says it can sort of spy on AirDrop and pretty pictures from Apple Productions. It is Wednesday, the 10th of January, 2024. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. TF International analyst Ming-Chi seems concerned that consumers don't get what Apple Vision Pro is for, and that might stop them from getting it. Young MC hit Medium with a string of thoughts on Tuesday, tugging on a few. While he says Apple did a good job of showing off technology behind the device last year at WWDC, it didn't say a lot about the product's positioning and key applications. The way he sees it, if Apple can provide more details of these aspects before the pre-order or launch, it will help maintain sales momentum and attract more developers. Maintain seems to be the operative word there. Demand from Apple's core fans and heavy users should lead to a sellout soon after the orders begin, in his estimation, resulting in a longer shipping time. If not, both the Sky and Apple shares are falling. We talked yesterday about some consumers waiting for more refined, less expensive second versions of Apple's, don't call it mixed reality headset. Ming-Chi says, they're not the only ones eyeing such a device. Quoting his post, the lower-priced and second-generation versions that many investors have been waiting for have yet to be officially kicked off and are unlikely to be a trading theme shortly. However, the market's feedback on the Vision Pro should help Apple decide quickly on the following models to come, which is something to watch for this year. Forgive me, I am going to opine. There is no way Apple is not coming out with a more accessible version of this thing in the relatively near future, by which I mean in the next year or two. For iPhone, there was the C series, the SE models, and the Mini. For HomePod, there was HomePod Mini and eventually a lower-cost full-size HomePod. For Apple Watch, there's Apple Watch SE. For iPod, there was the Nano and the Shuffle. The original Apple TV was replaced by the less expensive, more accessible Hobby Puck. There is simply no way Apple is not coming with a more accessible version of Apple Vision blank in the future. Hopefully the near future, but I'll settle for relatively near. Barring cataclysm on a global scale, we're in for a few years of, I don't know, that in 10 years will be forgotten by most, and those who do remember will do so with amusement. Again, barring cataclysm. Feels like tempting fate every time I say that. If you're a particular kind of nerd, Apple's first ad for its spatial computer hits a note of nostalgia. Upload VR says the company has released a teaser video for the device called Get Ready. The piece says the video features a series of clips from popular movies where characters don goggles, helmets, eye masks, and visors. It ends with a model putting on an Apple Vision Pro, revealing the Vision OS home screen in pass-through. It's not just the clips of movies and TV shows that evoke memory, though that's certainly a thing that happens. The more evocative point, though, again, to a particular kind of nerd, is the similarity between Get Ready and the first teaser for iPhone 17 years ago. Upload VR calls the new teaser an obvious callback to the Hello teaser for the original iPhone shown at the 2007 Oscars, which featured a series of clips from movies where characters picked up a phone and said, "Hello," ending with a screen showing an incoming call on iPhone. We don't know whether Apple knew then the extent to which iPhone would go on to change the world. In hindsight, though, they know how much it did. That they're using the same basic formula to introduce Apple Vision Pro to the general public seems significant. scary if true. A piece from Bloomberg has the Chinese government saying it's figured out a way to identify folks who send messages through AirDrop. According to the report, Beijing's Judicial Bureau says it's developed a technique to crack an iPhone's encrypted device log to identify the numbers and emails of senders who share AirDrop content. The report has the Bureau indicating that the technique improves the efficiency and accuracy of case solving and prevents the spread of inappropriate remarks as well as potential bad influences. Nothing scary sounding about that. Beijing authorities say the AirDrop foil has been used by police there to identify multiple suspects. The Bureau did not say what those people are said to have done, nor whether anyone has been taken into custody. The parade of developer betas is once again on the move. Mac Rumors ran a few pieces Tuesday saying that the third betas of iOS and iPadOS 17.3 had been ceded to members of Apple's developer program, along with the third developer betas of macOS Sonoma 14.3, watchOS 10.3, and tvOS 17.3. Next to nothing is known about most of those. For the Mac, Apple Watch, and Apple TV operating systems, Mac Rumors uses terms like no notable changes discovered and no word yet on new features. Not so, though, with the iPhone and iPad operating systems. According to that piece, the phone OS will bring stolen device protection features once it's released. The next round of updates should also bring collaborative Apple Music playlists. That's a feature that should let Apple Music subscribers share playlists with others to build shared song lists. Here's hoping that this week's iOS developer beta is less bricktastic than the last one. Last week, Mac Rumors reminds readers, Apple pulled the second betas of iOS and iPadOS 17.3 after the updates caused devices to go into a perpetual boot loop. Apple did not re-release the second betas, but presumably the issue is fixed in the third. Apple CFO Luca Maestri is likely looking for a new lieutenant. 9to5Mac says Apple VP of Finance Saori Casey, described by Bloomberg as a top deputy to Maestri, is turning in her badge. Her time at Apple, which ran over 12 years, ends later this month. Worry not for the departing exec, though. She starts her new role as CFO at audio device maker Sonos on the 22nd of January. As 2 Apple stores close, a new one opens up. We've talked over the past couple of weeks about Apple Retail closing its Royal Hawaiian and Infinite Loop locations. Those both close on the 20th of January, the same day Apple opens a new store in South Korea. Mac Rumors says the Cupertino company will open Apple Hongdae in Seoul on Saturday, the 20th of January at 10 a.m. local time. It'll feature the usual fixtures, Genius appointments for fixing things, Today at Apple sessions for learning things, and of course, stuff to buy for divesting yourself of that filthy, dirty money that's weighing you down. To promote/celebrate the opening, the company's released commemorative wallpapers for iPhone, iPad, and the Mac, available on the store's site. The piece has the wallpaper features an Apple logo in a colorful graffiti style, symbolizing the Hongdae area's artistic and youthful culture. Apple Music Classical is tackling a few new countries. TechCrunch had the streamer taking to Twitter on Tuesday, urging users in China, Hong Kong, Japan, Korea, Macau, and Taiwan to pre-order Apple Music Classical now in the App Store. The service should go live for those countries on Wednesday, the 24th of January, according to the report. And finally today, more award nominations for Apple productions. Apple Insider says 9 Apple titles have been nominated across the Art Directors Guild's Film and Television Award categories. Those nominations bring with them artwork that's never been published before. Very unusually for an award ceremony, says the piece. Most of the ADG's list of nominations includes the PDF presentations that production companies made to the Art Directors Guild. I've scanned through some of it. The art for Silo is a feast for the eyes. The art for Killers of the Flower Moon somehow reads like a picture book for the movie. And the art for Hannah Waddingham, Home for Christmas, really gives one an idea of how much work goes into a fairly static design. Other nominees include For All Mankind, The Morning Show, Lessons in Chemistry, a commercial for the new MacBook Pro, the short film The Underdogs, and the epic Napoleon. The ADG's annual awards gala will be held on Saturday, the 10th of February, in Los Angeles. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. Advertising handle by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.